Good evening and welcome to Schuler Performing Arts Center. Before we begin, we ask that you please silence all electronic devices at this time. And now, please welcome to the stage Professor Tristan Whitecamp.
Hello, I just want to welcome you all to the Gathering the Bands. My name is Tristan Whitecamp. I'm the Director of Bands, Interim Director of Bands at Portland State University from Portland, Oregon, and I am so happy to be here, share this lovely evening with you, making music, and having worked with this wonderful group that you see before you from Northern Idaho, assembled across the region. I'm just so grateful to Northern Idaho College for bringing me out, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful evening. Please now welcome to the stage Northern Idaho College Director of Bands, Brian Hannaford.
Again, welcome to Gathering of the Bands 2022. We are so happy to have an audience, to be here to experience this great music with these great students from 5 of the area middle schools. We gave this music out about a month ago. The students got to work with their teachers in their schools, and then we put them together to form this great group. That includes the 5 teachers. Now this is where it's going to be hard, and hopefully I can remember all of our people that were involved. From STEM Charter Academy in Rathdrum, we have Mrs. Joyce Arpey. We use, yeah, you can do a round of applause. These are the teachers that work every day with our students. We have Ryan Dignan from Sandpoint and the Sandpoint Middle School Bands. Give them a round of applause. Yes. We had Michael Harrison from Coeur d'Alene Charter Academy. Everybody else has to step it up after that. Oh yes, of course, the great George Izette from Bonners Ferry, or Boundary Counter Middle School. Up there. Oh yes, and 2 days in a row. This is also cool. So we got to give the biggest round of applause because Mr. Dion Goodwin brought 2 separate groups, 2 days in a row, dedicated his time to the music and everything. Give Dion Goodwin from Lakeland Middle School in Rathdrum a round of applause. So we're here to preach about the greatness of music education. We've been sharing stories with the students all day about all the cool things that you can do with music. I tell them stories about me just being some kid that liked a girl in high school and said, hey, can I be in the band? And guess what? 20 years later, this is what I do for a living. So I keep on saying, if you stick with it and you say yes, obviously you have to work hard, but someday you might be traveling to Europe and be like, how did I get here? But it all can start from right here. At NIC, it can start right here in your community. Some of you have plans. You might want to go to any of the great universities around the country, but we think that the next great composer, next great performer, next great music educator can start right here at NIC. Not only does NIC have great programs, whether you want to be a dental hygienist, you want to be a nurse, that can start right here. But to talk even more about it, we have a very special guest today who wants to speak with you, the students, and all of us here at Gathering of the Bands, and that is President Nick Swain of North Idaho College. Well, maybe not. Well, it's a 2-night event, so maybe he wasn't able to do that. But what we are doing here today, what we are going to offer the students, every student who is a part of these ensembles today, is going to get a scholarship to NIC. Yes, it's early, but we're already giving that away. The band directors, hopefully they picked up this form that will talk about how you get involved. The parents will flash up something later that you can contact, say, hey, my student came to Gathering the Bands, and we want to find out more about this scholarship. It's early, but it's always nice to know that you have something coming for you. So you see that up there. We can find out more information. Tammy.haft@nic.edu, our Dean of Enrollment Students and Services. It should be a great thing for all of our students. So congratulations. We're really proud of the music you made today. And all of them came home with a t-shirt. So if anything, they have a t-shirt. And next up, our last piece. Before we move on to this great percussion ensemble with Mr. James Schmel, we're going to bring back our guest clinician who came at the last second because our original guest got sick. So we were so glad that we were able to connect and bring out, again, Interim Director of Bands at Portland State University, Mr. Tristan Whitecamp. Well, we have a little bit more set up here. The percussion ensemble, these students, along with our concert band ensemble, were working in the other room. I also want to I need to give a big thank you because there's one other person along with myself and Tristan that helped get the concert ensemble set up, and that was Mr. Keith Nielsen. Keith is our percussion instructor here, so if you go here and you're studying as a music major, you get to take lessons with Keith. And Keith worked with the students who worked in the big set of concert percussionists. So it really does take a village. Not only do we have our teachers working with the students every day in the classroom, and then they come here, and then we come up here and conduct and wave our arms and say, can you play it a little bit more with feeling this time, right? All that fun stuff, the musical moments. Now, we had this group rehearsing here all day. In the other room, in our rehearsal room, we had the percussion ensemble work on this piece. They got this music in advance, but it's pretty challenging, really neat. And we're gonna have our local percussion guru, professional. You may have seen him at Sorensen Elementary working with a drum group, many different musical things. I know he helps with the drum line at Lake City High School. And anywhere you hear jazz drumming, basically, whether you're in Sandpoint or you're in Coeur d'Alene, most likely you're listening to James Schmel play right here. So here is James Schmel. He's going to give you a little bit of information about the percussion ensemble.
All right, so it's been a great day working with all these kids. They've really showed up and worked hard for pretty much 4 hours straight with very small breaks. And so I worked them pretty hard, and they really did great. And so I'm excited to share this piece. It's called Double Stacked, and it's written by Jane Groves and Matt Moore. And it's kind of a piece that, as you see, we got chairs and 2 drums. So it's in the vein of Stomp material, if you've ever seen any performances like that. Okay, thank you.
James Schmel and the percussion ensemble. Excellent work. The future is bright, North Idaho. Check out these young musicians. Now we got to reset the stage really quickly, and then you're going to hear from the NIC Wind Symphony. Thank you for being here at Gathering of the Bands.
Man, this is such a great space. I look forward to performing here every single day.
It's kind of neat without the lights on. You can really think about, the past, the history.
Can you imagine the duos that were in this theater? Lennon McCartney.
Oh yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah, Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, the great duos in history.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn.
Beavis and Butthead.
Composers of the Renaissance, Leonin and Perrotin. Right here, Hannaford Mendez. Sounds of Christmas. You can't miss it.
He meant Mendez Hannaford. Welcome to
Sounds of Christmas!
Sounds of Christmas.
December 10th at 7:30
30.
p.m., December 11th at 2 p.m.
Schuler Performing Arts Center.
Free for the entire family. You're going to hear the North Idaho College Cardinal Chorale and Chamber Singers.
You'll probably also hear the NIC Wind Symphony for that fun little holiday sing-along.
All right, all right, all right.
Come on out. It's free.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Join Mendez and Hannaford as they prepare the NIC ensembles for this annual holiday celebration. We'll see you next at Sounds of Christmas.
I'm just messing with the sound guy up there. First off, while I'm here, let's thank Timothy, Shenton, Frank Nichols running lights, and Tyler Hughes, our production supervisor. They were here all day. Our students got to know them. They were working hard all day, right? It's not just me up here in the suit and conducting. What a great night of music. We're celebrating young music students, music education, and of course, we want you to keep playing forever. If you're out there, and some of you are out there, I can sense a little bit of band in your history. You should be here playing with us also. This is a community ensemble. We do have college students here. We'd love more people playing. We'd love to have you and to make more music. This next piece, this is a really neat piece. We started off with a transcription from Rodeo. This is Aaron Copland, one of the great 20th century American composers. It felt like we were at the rodeo. It felt perfect, right? Just having a great time. Now this next piece, completely different. We all think of the great symphonic composers, Beethoven, Brahms, Dvorak, right? But that's all written for orchestra, strings, and then woodwinds, brass, percussion. This piece we're going to hear, it's a 4-movement work. It might be a little modern. It was written in 1956 by Vincent Persichetti. And from what we just heard, actually, we heard an amazing performance from our middle school students, middle school and some high school students in there. But this piece, it's going to take a lot from the wind band, and this is one of the early symphonies for band. It's a 4-movement work, so I know you're going to hear some amazing things and think to clap. Just know that the end is when I actually stop and put my arms down. We had some issues yesterday. Everyone's like, the piece is over. The piece is over. It's not over. You'll know. Anyways, listen for it. As we just heard our young students playing our instruments, I think this piece basically features each section at different times. So you'll really get to hear the different timbres and sounds of a wind symphony, whether it's the trombone, the euphonium, the tuba, the saxophone, the amazing bass clarinet playing here, the clarinets, the flutes, and everything. So listen closely as this motif and melody passes around and see what this composer, Vincent Persichetti, was trying to tell us. And it actually has some pretty modern harmony, so I look forward to showing that with you. Again, NIC Wind Symphony, Brian Hannaford, Gather the Bands, thank you for being here.
We having a good time? To the young people in the front here, the main thing I want to leave you with today is that you can keep doing this, playing a wind instrument, playing music for the rest of your life. It doesn't stop when you get to high school. It doesn't stop when you graduate high school. You can keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And I feel like my life's mission is to make sure that nobody quits band ever. Like once you pick up a clarinet or whatever at the beginning, like that's it. You're done. You're playing that all the way through. And I think there's some people up here who can attest to like the joy that it brings them playing music all the way through. And not everybody here, like you have other jobs, right? Like, but it brings you joy, and you don't have to study music in college. You can, of course, like Brian and I, but don't stop playing. Please, don't. It brings too much joy to people's lives. When you share music with them and when you make music with your friends and community, please keep doing this, okay? Deal? Okay. I want to say thank you to Brian once more for calling me, and I have kind of a funny story that I think is meaningful for anyone to hear. I was sitting in my office back in Portland last week, and I had this student after class who was like talking to me, and it's like one topic, and then it's another topic, and it's, I haven't done my homework, and this is going on, and it's like, it wasn't that I didn't want to, spend any more time with this student, but I was thinking about like, man, I have like emails I gotta get to, I got all this stuff, like, how do I, end this conversation? Then my phone rings, and I look down and it's like, Ohio, like I don't recognize the number, And I'm thinking, oh, it's probably a telemarketer, but, I kind of need to end this conversation, so maybe I'll answer it. And it was Brian, and he called me. He's like, hey, I got this gig for you. You want to come to Idaho and conduct some bands next week? And I'm so glad I answered the phone. So anyway, I'm not going to say who that student was. But I love that student. Like, just, yeah. But I'm so grateful I picked up the phone. And it just, when you're a musician, you have to answer the phone. And then if it's a telemarketer, you can hang up. Don't not answer the phone. It might be a gig. Anyway, I'm so glad to be here. I've been through this area, but I have family in Spokane, and I haven't spent enough time in Coeur d'Alene, and I'm so glad to be here and to be making music. It's a great way to visit any community that you haven't been to before, is to make music and make friends and, make some art. It's just a great way to connect with people. And I thank you to Northern Idaho College, to Brian, and to all of you for having me here. And to all of you for coming and doing this event, and to all the band directors. I mean, we need music educators like more than ever. So thank you for what you do, and all you parents, thank you for supporting music education and fostering that in the community. Thank you. This is the last piece I'm conducting tonight, and it intimidates me so much. It's a gorgeous work of art, and I hope you enjoy it. This is the Nimrod variation from Edward Elgar's Enigma Variations. So, here we go.
Thanks for your attention. How cool is that piece? Yeah. It's not only breathtaking, it takes a lot of breath work. If you're a young musician, you're probably sitting there like, wow, how do they just hold that note forever, right? And as the more you go, actually the pieces we played were actually really nice. I just want to give a shout out. The Awakening, the second piece we played, the one I conducted with Gathering of the Bands, with our Gathering band here, our composer was here. And the Awakening composer, Tom Tucker, stand up, Tom, give him a, give it. He was here. You can get his autograph later or go to pdfmusic.com and I'm sure he'll answer your messages. He didn't pay for that ad, but I gave it to him anyways. So, what I was trying to say, the music, it gets more complex. In some cases, the slower the piece is, the harder it is. And that's why Tristan, the amazing conductor he is, you know, he's intimidated by it to stretch and to really believe that the band's gonna make these moves with these gestures, but it really works, right? You sit there and realize, how is this person going to conduct these people of all these years, 2,000 years of experience? Well, we find out that age really doesn't matter, right? If you have the skills, you can do anything. Anyways, this next piece, really cool, fun music. It's Ten Ten. It says Tintin, Prisoners of the Sun, but my colleague in the music department, the great Dr. Dwayne Huff, our piano and music theory faculty, he grew up in Europe, and he said, Tintin is one of the most famous comic books, comic series, turned to cartoon, turned to movies, like on the planet. I think I read a stat where it was like 200 million copies sold worldwide. You might have seen a version of this if you saw the Spielberg movie, Tintin. It came out. Yeah, some of us are giving the thumbs up, right on? Yeah, so maybe one nerd out there has seen it, and I say that affectionately, I'm a band director, but what I'm saying is that this is a different version. So that movie came out, and that was scored by somebody else. This is Dirk Brossie's Belgian musical. So this actually, the music we're gonna hear has roots. It'll sound like musical theater that you hear, you know, if you go hear a Sondheim play, Les Mis, some of these openings sound very familiar. But the melodies are from this musical that none of us have heard, and it's even more beautiful than you can imagine. It's gonna feature, we're gonna have English horn in this, we'll have oboe, we'll have bass clarinet, you'll have euphonium solos singing these. Imagine this being a Broadway play and being amazed by these great vocalists. So, afterwards, go home, YouTube it. You'll probably see this iconic photo. You can't see this, but for the people watching at home, if you've ever seen this, this looks a little familiar if you're a certain age, right? On camera, we'll get it? Okay, there you go. So, 1010, Prisoners of the Sun. Thank you. close to the end of the night here. We have basically one more and then our big finale. It's been great. Hope you've enjoyed that one. That was super cool. A song you never heard before. Imagine what it really sounds like. Go home and see if you can find it. If you can't even really find it online. Originally, the whole reason I was doing that piece is because when I was still living in Cleveland, I guess that showed up tonight, the Ohio thing. I still have an Ohio number. The best part was I met my wife in Ohio, and I just want to get the date right. Our anniversary is Saturday. So there you go, I got it right today, so congratulations to my wife for dealing with me. So, anyhow, the Ohio thing. When I went to school at Case Western Reserve, I worked with Dr. C. Pluck, and he was supposed to come out here. Not that Tristan wasn't amazing. The whole reason I know that piece is because we got to go. We performed that when I was an instrumental coach. Later, I was an assistant conductor in a group called Cleveland Youth Wind Symphony. So we worked with an honors band that met every week, sort of like, I believe, like North Idaho Youth Symphony, something like that. We had 3 different wind ensembles, and then we went on a tour. That year, that one year, 2016, we were able to go to Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Austria, and Germany, and we got to perform all these pieces. And the cool thing about that piece, 1010, it was arranged by Johann de May, and Johann de May is a great composer and arranger. He actually wrote a Lord of the Rings symphony that we did a few years ago in this ensemble. The cool thing was when we went to the Netherlands, he actually conducted that piece. So that was really neat to be a part of it. So I wanted to bring it back, and even though Steve Luck wasn't here, it felt like he was. You know, it's one of those cool moments about music. We bring this with us. After tonight, it's a one-night only thing for some of us, but we're connected because we're musicians, or at least that's how us artsy musicians think, right? We shared a stage together, so now we're family. You pass me on the street, I probably won't remember your name, but you can be like, don't I know you? Most of the time I teach online classes, so people go like, they're in the grocery store, hey, your face looks familiar. And I said, really? Cool. Anyhow, talking about something that doesn't look so familiar, sometimes there's extraterrestrials. There's a great movie, came out 40 years ago. Wow, I am sorry to bring that up. Some of you have seen it, you love it, and I hope you love it again. If you haven't seen it, I'm not told I wasn't plugged for this, but I know it's streaming on Hulu, so, sorry, not Hulu, on Peacock. So if you want to see E.T., check it out on Peacock. We're gonna play it for you now. Gather the bands. Woo! I have to talk, I forgot a couple of things. There's amazing horn playing all night, Marianne. I don't know if I've given you enough props, but we have a 2-person horn section. We have Marianne and Valley, so give them a round of applause on the horn there. We haven't done that enough. And the other person I need to thank, because in Tintin, there was magical piano playing. There's going to be more. Kaylee Martinelli. There we go. Now it's complete. Now we'll do E.T. All right. Well, that's basically it for Gathering Bands. We have one last thing. Well, we want to thank, this has been a 2-day experience. So again, thank you to the Schuler Performing Arts Center staff. Thank you to our teachers both days, our students that came here, our parents that support them, and I also, our friend, our newest friend from Portland, Mr. Tristan Whitecamp. Give him a round of applause. So the last piece, well, this is an important one, not only because it's the National March of the United States, but tomorrow, if I'm right about this finally, the right date, tomorrow is Veterans Day, and this goes out to our veterans. So for this moment, can we have our veterans stand, even if they're in the ensemble? Let's give you a round of applause, and then we'll play this. Thank you for your service. This one's for you, everybody. This one's for all of us. To you. Thank you very much.